Welcome to Frost and Sullivan's Growth Podcast series. This edition breaks down highlights from our Frost Radar analysis, evaluating market leaders, innovation benchmarks, and growth potential across digital trust and eSignature services. We'll spotlight companies to action and explore what separates emerging leaders from the rest of the field.
Imagine buying a house without ever touching a piece of paper, opening a bank account from your couch in 5 minutes, a multinational company signing $1 billion contract across 3 continents without anyone meeting in person. This is already happening across industries. But here's the real question. How do you know that every person, every document, every identity, and every system involved can actually be trusted? Earlier, businesses believed digital transformation was about becoming paperless. Then they thought it was about moving to the cloud. More recently, everyone started talking about artificial intelligence. But underneath all of those innovations lies something far more fundamental: trust. Without trust, digital business simply doesn't work. Today, we're exploring one of the fastest changing but least talked about technology ecosystems: digital trust, identity, and e-signature services. We'll explore why electronic signatures are becoming just one small piece of a much bigger puzzle involving AI, digital identity, cryptography, machine identities, and even the coming age of quantum computing. Because by the end of this decade, organizations won't simply compete on digital experiences, they'll compete on how trustworthy those experiences are. So let's unpack how we got here and where we're heading.
For a long time, electronic signatures solved one obvious problem. They replaced paper. Instead of printing contracts, signing them by hand, scanning them, emailing them back, and filing them away, organizations could complete the entire process digitally. It saved time, it reduced costs, it accelerated business. Mission accomplished, or so everyone thought. But businesses soon discovered something interesting. The signature itself wasn't slowing transactions down. Everything surrounding the signature was. Who is this person? Can we verify their identity? Has this document been altered? Will this signature hold up in court? Can regulators validate it years from now? Is this transaction protected against fraud? Suddenly, signing became just one step inside a much larger chain of trust. Think about opening a digital bank account. Before a single document is signed, the bank has to verify your identity. After signing, it has to preserve evidence, maintain compliance, detect fraud, and securely archive every interaction. The signature is only one link in that chain. What's emerging today is a unified digital trust framework that brings together 3 critical layers: identity, integrity, and authentication. Instead of isolated technologies solving isolated problems, organizations are connecting these capabilities into one continuous experience. The question then is, do you have the tools to measure the impact of security and identity megatrends on your organization's 2030 trust strategy?
This transformation isn't being driven by one breakthrough technology. It's the result of several powerful forces converging at the same time. The first is the rise of AI-driven risk. Artificial intelligence is making businesses more productive, but it's also making cybercriminals dramatically more capable. Deepfake videos, synthetic identities, AI-generated phishing attacks, manipulated documents. Distinguishing authentic information from fake content is becoming harder every day. Second comes trust without borders. Businesses increasingly operate globally, yet regulations remain regional. New frameworks like eIDAS 2.0 and the European Digital Identity Wallet are pushing organizations toward interoperable digital identities that can be recognized across jurisdictions. That means trust now has to travel internationally, not just technically, but legally. Third is the rapid evolution of digital identity itself. Identity verification is moving beyond passwords toward biometrics, reusable digital credentials, and AI-assisted verification. Instead of proving who you are over and over again, trusted digital identities may soon travel with you. Fourth, organizations are moving from isolated transaction tools to complete trust platforms. Rather than buying separate solutions for identity verification, signatures, certificates, compliance, and auditing, businesses increasingly want everything connected. And finally, there's perhaps the least discussed trend: the rise of machine identity. The internet was originally built for people. Today's digital economy increasingly runs on software, talking to software. Applications, cloud workloads, connected devices, autonomous systems. These digital entities also need identities. They need authentication, they need certificates, and they need trust. The future won't simply involve people signing documents. It will involve machines continuously proving they can be trusted. As AI creates more digital vectors than ever before, how will your organization decide who or what deserves trust?
In 2026, the digital trust ecosystem is estimated to be worth approximately $13.48 billion. By 2031, that's projected to reach $20.84 billion, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 9.1%. But unlike many technology spaces, there isn't one dominant type of provider. Instead, we see an ecosystem. Global eSignature platforms streamline workflows and document execution. Qualified trust service providers focus on regulatory compliance and legally recognized digital signatures. Identity specialists verify individuals and manage digital identities. Public key infrastructure, PKI, and security vendors provide the cryptographic foundations that make trust possible. What's remarkable is that more than 80 providers now compete across these interconnected segments. This landscape isn't consolidating around one technology, it's converging around one objective: trusted digital interactions. Winning providers won't simply offer better signatures, they'll orchestrate complete trust ecosystems.
If everyone has digital signatures, how do leaders stand out? Increasingly, it comes down to three capabilities. First, embedding signing into identity and risk management. Instead of asking users to verify themselves separately, leading providers integrate identity verification, biometrics, fraud detection, and audit trails directly into transaction workflows. Trust becomes continuous, not episodic. Second, unifying technology, governance, and services. Technology alone isn't enough. Organizations also need compliance expertise, automation, responsible AI, policy management, operational resilience. The strongest providers bring these disciplines together rather than treating them as disconnected offerings. Third, eliminating friction. Complex deployments often kill adoption. Even the most sophisticated trust technologies fail if implementation is slow or legal certainty remains unclear. Organizations increasingly value solutions that simplify deployment, reduce integration complexity, and deliver measurable business outcomes quickly. In other words, trust must become easier, not harder, to implement. That's becoming the real competitive advantage. Which growth processes will help your teams implement these best practices in eSignature services?
Here's the biggest takeaway from today's conversation. The future growth of this ecosystem doesn't actually sit inside the signature, it sits outside it. Tomorrow's opportunities lie in value-added trust services, identity verification, know your customer capabilities, fraud prevention, digital timestamps, electronic seals, long-term preservation of digital evidence, reusable credentials. Additionally, automated compliance is becoming another major growth area as organizations navigate increasingly complex regulations while operating across multiple countries. Meanwhile, AI-driven fraud detection, post-quantum readiness, code signing, and machine identity are expanding digital trust far beyond human users. Think about connected vehicles, industrial robots, smart factories, telehealth and medical devices, cloud-native software. These systems increasingly authenticate themselves, exchange sensitive information, and make autonomous decisions. The next generation of trust won't just protect documents, it will protect entire digital ecosystems. And perhaps that's the biggest mindset shift of all. Do you have the tools to identify, analyze, and act on the most lucrative growth opportunities in this space?
That's all for today. Thanks for joining us on Frost & Sullivan's Growth Podcast. For access to our research, competitive benchmarking, and best practice frameworks, head over to frost.com or email hello@frost.com. We'll be back soon with more to help you stay clear-headed and growth-ready.